Hey guys, Axis&Allies 1942 second edition. Just finished round 7. Just want to give you an overview of what the board looks like. As we get ready to start round 8. Okay. Well, the Russians are still holding back in Stalingrad. They're pretty strong. As you can see, the German army that was in Ukraine has basically left that territory because if they stay there any longer, the Russians are going to go on a counteroffense and probably wipe out the whole German army in Ukraine. So they pulled back into Poland and Belarusia. That's good for Russia because now they could go into Ukraine, West Russia, and probably send Japan on the defense, as Japan doesn't have much on the Asian theater right now. So, yeah, the Germans were forced with a tough decision, and the commander thought it was best to pull back out of Ukraine into Poland and Belarusia. So, good for the Russians, bad for the Germans. Obviously, when the Germans do that, that usually means that they are losing the war, which they are. So we'll see what happens there on this upcoming Russian turn. Speaking of the Germans, they took France back. It was a temporary hold, obviously, as the British were able to take it back with the Americans. So Germany is pretty much, their empire is dwindling, as you can see. This is all they have. Troops from the east are being called to the west to face the immediate threat of Britain and the Americans. So we'll see how the Germans respond to this upcoming turn. It's not looking too good for them, though, I can tell you that. The British continue to pour troops into France. Seems like the stalemate's going on between the Germans and the British and Americans. It's going back and forth. We'll see if the British could keep doing it, and sooner or later something's gonna have to give, and it's most likely the Germans are gonna lose on that front. Just a matter of time. Plus the Russians are going to be coming from the east, so it's going to put more pressure on the Germans. The British took Burma. That was a big battle on both sides between them and the Japanese. The British won that battle. Japanese were never able to counterattack because there's a big American fleet off the Philippine Islands. If they attacked Burma, they would have been short on supplies on French Indochina and Kwangtung. So they decided just to hold their position and build as much as they can to try to prevent the Americans from taking those complexes, which would really hurt Japan bad. So they're just kind of at a holding ground. With Germany not doing good, obviously Japan's feeling the pressure and they're starting to pull back into Asia, as you can see. The Americans last turn took the Philippines and they just built the complex there. Eventually they'll build more and more units there. As you can see, they won the naval race against Japan. It's just a matter of time before that Japanese Navy fleet, which is off Tokyo Bay, will be sunk. Japan can't really attack it right now. They're in a tough position. They'll just get slaughtered. The Americans have so many freaking subs. Probably the Americans will attack it within the next turn or two. Japan just kind of in the defense, just like Germany. They can't do much. The Americans also expanded down south, took the East Indies, and they're starting to collect $50 now. So you can see Japan is also in the defense mode, just like Germany. So pretty much the war is not going very well for the Axis. It's just a matter of time before Berlin and Tokyo completely collapse. Yeah, just not looking good at all. So that's round 7. It was a big turning point of the war right there. For a few rounds, it hasn't been looking too good for the Axis, but now we know that the Allies are going to win this game. So, yeah, hope you enjoyed. That was round 7, and I will do round 8 probably tomorrow, which will be Sunday. Okay, deuces.